to go for a deep run, at the very least to prove themselves here at Cologne.
And the boys are back on land in the sense of Adren coming back into the team. We know that he's picked up the coach role ever since Moses sort of stepped down. So good opportunity to see what Liquid can do going forward. But this is a very, very tight series and should hopefully be an absolute banger.
Looking forward to see how well it will go down on Vertigo as the first map of the series itself. The pistol round is live with the default set to utility in for NAF and for Fallen. Util for tabseN with the defuse kit over Vertigo and the HE for the man as well. Stewie being seen on XANTARES' jump face. So shots ringing out, not quite connecting to any particular kills at this moment, but it will sort of force them back.
A lot of rotation in terms of a stack-heavy A site. You've just got that single-player Keto playing out from B. Needs to gather some early information. Otherwise, he could just get overwhelmed quite quickly.
Still watching for contact here and waiting for the T side to start to overextend here. Liquid waiting for their opportunity. Big holding face. Incendiaries and smokes down the standard. Set piece execution. Great shot from Keto to open up against Grim. Flashed out towards the quad position. Tizian's going to bail him out as well. Elige comes up with one good trade, but Keto still kicking and screaming. 2 frags to his name. Fallen finally trades it back, but a 3-on-2 scenario favors Big, and XANTARES now looking to pick up the pieces alongside CS and claim Big the pistol.
A very good start coming through from the German side, and just Keto, the only player on B. Not only does he stay alive and waste time, but he's finding impact. A couple of kills in for that quad position, allows those rotations to come back in from spawn, and for Liquid, without the bomb plant, it's got to be a Glock round.
Yeah, big moment there from Keto, of course, in the back lines. Rolling 2 perfect headshots, and that bomb drop basically secured the round right there and then, and a very fantastic hold for the CTs on a pistol, and pistols out for Liquid in the second as well. No major buy, just upgrade pistols on a couple of players. Leave it at that with no Kevlar and no util.
Yeah, tabseN has been a very impressive player over the course of the group stage. First player when it comes to the AWP kills per round. See if he can give Alistair a little bit of a run for his money. Renegades being knocked out in that last matchup in the best of 3. And Team Liquid at least getting a bit of a trade in the Glock round so far out from the ramp default.
Pressing the SMG for tabseN, caught by Stewie. XANTARES with a responsive, 3 versus 3. M4 continues to look around, but can't quite seem to see them. Very, very carefully placed here from the boys. Burst through for the CT player. M4 just can't catch anything at all for Liquid.
If they can get sneak a bomb plant somehow in this sort of situation, that would be incredible. They've even tagged up Tizian with the scout.
Stewie looking back to the back lines. Sees a headshot, gets XANTARES. Okay. Back to the favor of Liquid we go, with a couple of weapons being picked up here. Smoke to Keto, going to get caught off with the dink down on Grim and Tizian now, 1 versus 3. Grim's also seen him, bomb on his back. Spotted out, Stewie jump faces, takes the dink back of his own right, but Grim also takes that chance to swing out wide and get the conversion, get the eco for Liquid.
We lose to Glocks. What is going on there? They've got a single deagle at a Glock round. No armor, no force up, no nothing. Big. Oh, God, you don't want to be seeing that, do you?
No, absolutely not. Especially for a team that are rated so closely against the Liquid side in this matchup. A lot of eyes on this one just due to how unpredictable it really can be. First to the board of the T's as they instantly get back into the control, again with no investment whatsoever. The rifles are out in full. 3 AKs, M4 and SMG stayed from the previous round, so there's a little bit of limitation for Liquid, but not that much.
No, not at all. Just try and keep your economy strong. Seeing some nade setups out towards that ramp position. Nade goes down onto Fallen's position in tow, so doing a little bit of early chip damage, but for Big, you're looking for a response instantly.
Flash forward, XANTARES seen. Fantastic for Elige. Kicking things off on the right foot here in this 3rd round. Liquid don't want to concede a similar sort of force back towards the Big side and start to deficit their own economy again. Loss bonus, of course, be at a 0 marker for both sides, so Big. Not expecting too much out of this round. If they can get kills, that'd be great, but it's unlikely.
Lee's just making a bit of a solo move by himself. Flash comes through for the city side. The pick has not come through from tabseN as of yet. Further damage coming through, but it's already the side take in, and the CTs are just dropping.
Yeah, Grim and Stewie, 2 frags, bomb plant, uncontested. Big are going to be here pretty quickly on these both players that remain, but tabseN and Tizian have very little chance to do much here. tabseN gets caught by NAF. Back over at Sniper's Nest PT-50 with no kit, no smoke. Faced in upon by Grim. The jumping face to the SMG. Plenty of money game for him. $1,200 total. A 2nd round to the Liquid.
And in terms of just the map shift in general, it hasn't really affected Liquid's veto all that often because we know they used to Instaban train as it was. They were one of those teams that just never played it anyway. So it seems like the Instaban has just gone from train to ancient and nothing else has changed.
No need to change anything in that respect. Big USP's up here in round 4, so Vertigo in the same sort of way that Liquid had theirs. AK's SMG, Molotov's down, Fallen, being faced with the flashbang over and looking up towards ramp, but seeing nothing, saying nothing, having nothing, knowing nothing.
As long as I don't run into this heavy stack, then all should be okay. Nades coming through out towards the sandbags in terms of the HEs. CTs take a little bit of early damage.
Searson with a response back. Elige caught. XANTARES facing in alongside Searson with a responsive. So 4 versus 3 and a couple of rifles now for Big. The rotations, of course, for Liquid will come back into the B side. They've got control out there. Now, what's the next call for Big? Do they full send into this? Do they try and steal this round, or do they just hold on to the AK as well? XANTARES gets called with his AK. SMG looking to pick up the frags against them. Will burn a little bit, take another good frag, and a third one as well. Deagle out against Keto. Puts his AK to decent effect, but now surely has got to save. No, he faces in towards Stewie. They lose all the weapons here for the CTs.
And this is the first LAN for Grim playing under the Liquid banner. His last big event was ECA Season 32 Global Challenge with Triumph, which almost feels like it was an age ago.
Yeah, it was like a year and a bit.
18 months, maybe. He's been on this team for, well, what's got to be about mid last year. So he's been on the lineup for a good year or so now.
For Liquid, one of the other debutants towards LAN that we've seen in so many teams over the course of this event. Big. Playing up and catching. No vision onto Elige. Searson falls first and foremost from that yellow top position. Found the AWP, and he continues wrapping in against XANTARES. His back turn. I'm not expecting this. He wins another great fight.
A perfect start coming through for Elige, just doing his own thing out from ramp, and the majority of players are out here towards the B stairs. Keto's going to start getting overwhelmed.
Spray a bit manic, connects not much damage. Grim gets his kill involved, and now the B site's open. One player from tabseN on rotation that can get here to try and take some extra frags, but probably not take the round itself. He does get 2, so 3v2.
A decent position for tabseN to be in, especially if he could follow up onto Fallen, but it all comes down to this one kill, and now he needs help.
They've got to find Elige next up. Nade's turned away from his back towards quad. A big old gap, smoked back down, tap the bomb. Try force them forward. Siege Stewie gets the quadra. tabseN on to get the ace against Elige. Being close. Trying to aggress against the man. He's such low HP as well. Tap the defuse. Try force him out of position. And tabseN wins it in whole. Ace clutch for him to hold from the man at advantage and get that second for Big.
Oh, it's another ace of the tournament. There's been so much chatter on the social media for the last couple of days about, is this going to be the event that has the most clutches coming through? We just keep adding them to the tally at this point.
Unbelievable for tabseN. And yes, those first 2 kills came in easy. The third frag on Fallen was unexpected. And against Stewie, should not have been found at all. What a round from him. And a second round at the border. Big. A tactical called in for the CTs already.
How frustrating for Elige is that whole round, knowing that you get a double entry out from ramp on a lurk as a 5-on-3, and then the round just falls apart. They deal with Keto easily on the site itself. tabseN just does everything, and Big, after that round, immediately decide to take a tactical.
Straight in. No real opportunities. Liquid to really get back on their feet, take that moment to figure your own stuff out. Of course, knowing you just came around came up with a massive round, of course. Don't let yourselves get to your heads. So, guns back in. Keto still has the FAMAS. So, despite that clutch, despite that potential, Big still don't have a lot in terms of the firepower basis. That one AK and the M4s, Keto being the limiting factor for tabseN. Again, going to start off this round with damage done. Grim to 28, to do it to 65.
And that's possibly why they've taken the tactical, just knowing they're not going to be on double eco status, but they can just get ecoed in the next round. Elige just getting flashed forward to try and entry out towards the B side.
Seeing Keto at least, but can't catch the frag. Flashes over. FAMAS gets caught off, as does Tizian as well. Elige. Kill found onto the man. Keto can respond towards it, but can't grab that M4. Still makes it work against Naf. Now we'll pick it up as Fallen trays back to tabseN. Knows that Keto's still close. Stewie deals with him, and it's back to the 3v2 for Liquid.
Searson out from mid's been caught. XANTARES is looking to try and bait off him, and at least they draw Grim out to the open.
Damage has been done to both players. Nade towards Fallen. Tags him to 6. Doesn't deny the plant. Now the AWP and the AK. Slow positions held towards entryways, particularly at the CT spawn. In from Scaff, XANTARES going to drop down, try baiting Fallen, see his man, take a leg shot, bringing out from Fallen's part, no damage being done, finally a kill, and Searson has got to fall back.
Nothing that he can do in that situation, especially when he's tagged up so heavy. And Liquid convert into a fourth, and Big, just after they take that tactical, they then just get rushed over towards the B side. That's really going to hurt their economy. Again, not going to reset them with the 1900 loss bonus, but it means they're going to have to eco around this orb.
And not a lot of cash for Big, and not a great follow-up to the ace as well. Bit of a shame for tabseN, but fortunately not quite as good against Liquid. And this is what I'm talking about with the Liquid side, is the fact that these players can hit some ridiculous shots and some ridiculous rounds. Hold their confidence together. Keep it at a 2-round lead here for the T side. And you're right about that eco. USPs will be coming out. There should be no force buy.
Oh, we even know at the RMR, they kind of cruised through the event, even in the playoffs, just playing Pain and Furia twice to just Brazilian teams to get it over. And win that event, get as many points as possible, and then look to come into Cologne and look to have another deep run. Gotta wonder to yourself, though, Jay, like this eco, yeah, there's not a massive amount of upgrades, but can we expect a massive amount of damage? Maybe if they set the AWP up.
AWP is watching from the mid control. Starts falling back out of position to try and rejoin the ace site. Elige pressing in towards the earlier entrance. XANTARES the only player to really hold contention in this one. Smokes it back again. Flash forward for Elige, will not peek of the position. Keep Big second guessing as they try to set up the 3-man boost here. Tito puts XANTARES up. Does not see Elige. Does see Stewie, but doesn't hit his shot.
It just starts falling away from that triple boost, and it's only a connection of one bullet to the stomach. Elige just waiting for the over-aggression. Big are completely stacking up the A side.
Seen information, they've caught at least one individual, but is that going to be true to the form? Liquid. Pushing out here, AK in, shot on for xanTARES, finally connects with the big green. Flashing coming over for Fallen as well. Wraps the corner, knows that xanTARES around that position somewhere. Sprays blind, shot on the second man, comes forward. Keto turns the PT-50 into a frag, and XANTARES gets a deagle up. Naf's alone, 1v3. Big have done it again, I think. Trying to hold on to the headshots, but not going to quite work out. Flash over towards Ramp, indicating that's where he's going. But AKs can get picked up. 2 players have rifles, and 20 seconds to work for Naf. Looking around the corner, checking out the sandbags. Making a lot of noise to this. Big have so much info to play with and no time at all for Naf. Got to get this plant in or save the weapon. I think he's going for the latter.
Really well played there for Big in the 3v1. Just no one's peeking. No one's giving him up individual jewels. They might try a little bit of a hunt after time, see if they can at least deal with this AK, but they think better of it. Hold on to the AWP, hold on to the double AKs. And what a return when Liquid won sort of a bit of an eco themselves on a Glock round. Now Big do the same with the hero AWP.
Great shooting from xanTARES, became the instigator of that round for Big. Tactical timeout called in for Liquid as well, their first of this matchup. Appropriate time to do so because you just lost to an eco, and I'm pretty sure they had a good read on that as well.
Yeah, Big just having everyone on A. Liquid not being able to deal with the upgraded pistols. And so far it's been a little bit of a sloppy affair in terms of the ecos finding conversions in the early stages of this first half. Economy reset coming through for Liquid means that the buy's going to be coming through, but there is going to be a Tech 9 up for Grim. AKs for everybody else.
Still one pistol to limit the whole factor here for Liquid, though. I think he's sitting with the smokes and the flashes. Keto. There's the standards. Nades back from the T side as well. xanTARES and XANTARES tagged so low, so early. They're still aggressed here. Smokes will suppress them back at the T side line. Counter nades. Doing any damage? A little bit done, but not quite as much as the T should did.
Just trying to see if they can have a couple of spam bursts through that smoke, see if they can get a little bit of a lucky timing onto the T side, but Util has certainly been very on point for both of these teams. Out towards the ramp default, all it takes is just a molly and a flash and just get them through, and Big, just give him the respect, say, okay, you can take ramp, we're just going to fall back and play passive.
Utility down to the smokes. Suppressing again a little bit shallow in terms of the smoke position on ramp. He's going to get tagged up to 16, however, on the applied spray. xanTARES AWP ready against Grim. Going to have to get forced to put the smoke down. Get back out of dodge onto the site itself.
Another stack up towards this A site, and at least it's tabseN to start off.
Does suppress them, however. Team Liquid starting to fall back a little bit. Further sprays in from tabseN towards side alley. Can't quite catch Grim, but a flashbang does. Force him to go back once again. Team Liquid a bit stop and start here in this round. Smokes in, tabseN still catches that before it blooms. tabseN falls in turn though, so it's a 4 versus 3. Elige a bit too twitchy, almost takes his own teammate's head off. The AWP rephases, the smoke goes down, the bomb plant does get tapped here. Waiting for it a second time, lad tag up and Fallen, goes for the headshot but misses it out. And the bomb can be secured successfully.
Those wallbang shots coming close, but not quite close enough. Elige out for the sandbags is going to get forced away.
Back to join his main T-side forces here below the ramp entrance. Grim still looking up towards top right. Keto's got the bomb tapped up. tabseN going to be ready for them. Tech 9 round the corner for Fallen. Should get overwhelmed pretty soon here by Keto. He gets driven back most certainly. They know about that. Full send into the stack once again. XANTARES on the defuse. AWP shot for tabseN. Might just cover him off. Elige got a face real quick. Get 1 kill, but no more than that. Fallen gets Keto well after the defuse itself. We'll grab an AUG at least, but it's a round for big.
And they can't buy back here, Team Liquid. They're going to have to be on another one of these eco buy-ups. Half buy it down with the 2400. And Big are very much contesting out on this CT side. And I just like the way in that 4 versus 3, you can see they're just waiting for an overpeak. They're waiting for the T's to just have contact, but it's not happening. Get onto that bomb and just defend. tabseN with the AWP in particular, getting away with a couple of great kills and just setting XANTARES up for the defuse. Big, perfect opportunity for them to now start getting a lead.
Keto finding 2 frags immediately off the back of Liquid setup. Fallen and Grim down immediately. Lige caught off by tabseN. That's 1 more good frag for the M4. And now for Stewie. Well, left out of this one. Not really much that they can do in this round. Maybe he could catch a headshot. Maybe he could catch a sneaky frag on an aggressive CT player. But back's turn, no idea for Stewie. Triple up for Keto. Naf alone.
Just hoping for anything out towards a ramp position, but not going to happen. 5 on the board for Big, no one fallen. No one really taking any damage at all. And in terms of kill distribution here for the Big side, looks very impactful. Even Keto out towards the B side is finding some impact. Just eco frags.
Big with a lead on the CT. Liquid. A couple of the guns, of course, the AWP on tabseN. Still with the main limiting or the main sort of like boosting factor for the CT side. Imagine the Liquid might want to get it out for Fallen as well. Got 6 grand in the bank, so we can see a buyback coming in from them. Tactical pause to make a definitive decision though.
And for Liquid, that whole idea that they haven't won a map pick coming into this event so far is a little bit worrying. Something for them that they're trying to overcome. Try and see if they can keep it close and competitive out here on Vertigo. Get those rifles back in. But you're right about the AWP setup. We haven't seen the AWP on T side at all. tabseN's been sort of rotating in between sort of that mid and A position for the most part. He hasn't even really been that aggressive.
Utility, of course, set in as standards the default plays. Liquid trying to get aggressive into this B site, and tabseN straight shot on Grim opens up the round effective, not taking a single moment's hesitation just before that smoke blooms, catching the vision, catching the player, and kicking things off again for Big.
Just so much movement going around with that AWP. You can see that he just takes that first pop shot in towards the B stairs and then just instantly rotates back out to the mid position. Team Liquid looking for a little bit of a fight back, but even Keto is so deep on B.
AUG faces, smokes go down, flashes at the ready. Molotovs as well to suppress. Faced in for Elige, trying to catch some sort of gap in that smoke, but it's way too far out wide. He's going to face no CTs in that position. Meanwhile, formation comes up to B. It looks like to be a B play.
Now, there's a little bit of a window open at the B site as Keto starts backing up from mid, putting some util down to the ramp position in tow. Does get back in time, but doesn't know about the boost up.
It's around the corner. Incendiary's on position. Naf is siphoned off. Stewie will not, though. He gets his kill involved. 3 HP, however, tradable so easily by the CT side, but the AWP so close towards him. He continues flashing. Grab the corner against tabseN. Could be a risk here, but it could pay off for the lone man. They won't lose that much. He's so low. The bomb goes down. Him and tabseN. tabseN boosted up. Looks for 1 man. Tags Elige. tabseN finish off the job. Finally, Stewie falls, but Fallen chimes in with his own AWP. Looks back to the back in a 3-on-2.
They need a playmaker here, Liquid, in this 2v3. Big coming through very, very quickly. In and around the smoke. Fallen's going to be able to deal with the first, and Naf getting involved too. Means it's all down to tabseN to try and get this clutch together. Sees a bit of a gap in that smoke. Can't quite find the duel onto Fallen. Running out of time at this point. He's got the kit in play, but no one's peeking. Great post planning from Liquid.
Nicely done from Naf for Fallen. Looking to peek back. Searson will get one more exit frag, but he's out of the round at this moment. Fallen's got to run away. Does just about maintain himself against the AWP shot. He will be able to get away with his life as well. Liquid with that fifth, and what a hold from him. He was the main man of that. Great shooting from Fallen. And 5 all, Dwayne. This one has gone back and forth.
It really has, and even in that round itself, it seemed like Stewie really wanted to get aggressive around those generators, but just being held back by the utility, just being halted for ever so slightly. And even in the man disadvantage in that 2v3, Naf and Fallen just work together. But what I love is even when they get a couple of kills, it's just slow down. Be silent. Don't overextend. Don't give the AWP any kind of jewels.
Nades on, damage to Fallen and Grim. Tags up heavy, AWP. Set in with the CT side to look downrange towards that ramp control. tabseN also getting tagged up. The smokes involved here to suppress the Team Liquid. Find nothing. Nothing at all. Neither the big, it's just damage.
Liquid been very passive out towards these ramp defaults in the last handful of rounds, not sort of overly aggressing at all. And Keto just making sure he's got eyes out for any sort of sneak play out to the B side. Nade's going back in, being evaded by the most part.
Smoke and flash, XANTARES blind fire finally gets Fallen to fall. Drops that bomb, he doesn't know about it just yet. Smoke up, giving a bit more suppression. tabseN. Slow rotation away from the mid control has Naf and Stewie that could potentially provide problems. Slow walks in. Smoke and flash down will force the CT back towards the spawn itself. Can reposition against Naf. Keto getting caught for damage, but still gets the kill in. Now looks towards the main entrance. He gets Grim as well. Not quite a triple. Elise responds towards it, and Stewie lurking in the mid control. His flank's got to be everything for the T side because Elise will be left alone.
He's desperate for a decent play here, but big. They're keeping their eyes out for mid, and now Elise has got a clutch.
Too much of an adjustment for Stewie. All on Elise. Back in AC, no one's coming in for the backstab. All 4 CT, sorry, there is someone coming in for the backstab. Searson's going to be a little bit too late towards it. Players crossing, XANTARES falls. Oh, that transfer back, but not towards the third man. tabseN holds the round for big.
Stewie had to make a play in that 2v4 because, again, you leave your teammate isolated. It's going to be a very, very difficult post plan. And him just trying to hide, sneak out from that mid position, try and catch Big sleeping with maybe util coming out or knives out running through, but not to be at all. Elite doing work on the side, but it was the retake just with the numbers game in favor for Big.
And that third staggered player there for Big, ultimately maintaining his life and not losing himself to that flicked transfer. And maintaining it together for the CT side. So, Liquid, bomb plant bonus gets a half bite in, no more than that. And they're going to go, I think, full stead straight in towards ramp, I feel. All 5 players out. He warps in for a bit of a shocker. Searson does see several of them and get back out of dodge. Liquid going so fast. Yeah, they're going to just force forward. Taf gets actually 1 player, but tabseN gets 2 tracks to return, making it 3 and a quadra. Good effort from Liquid, but yeah, that was not going to work.
I might see another ace coming through from tabseN. Up towards orange, having a look out to the alley position. Stewie just on the other side. Waiting for the peek to come out, waiting for a little bit of a jewel to go his way, but Keto's going to peek in. And thank goodness tabseN was there because both of the A players, the AWP, Searson and XANTARES trying to fall back, they were so caught off guard flat-footed.
Yeah, they weren't ready for that. There was a possibility that they could have worked there for Liquid, but as you mentioned, 1 M4 to bail them out. Rifles inbound for the T side. That was the main focus of that previous one. Just get the main sort of half by eco out of the way. Get the real weapons in with the lack of an AWP, unfortunately, but still should be enough to dish out some damage towards Big and try to take a round itself. XANTARES trying to get aggressive as the right idea of what the T's are going for here. Just a little bit mistimed.
He's been very successful with a lot of these spam shots just through the ramp. Smoke Elise trying to create a little bit of a space for himself. He needs to take a jewel straight away to XANTARES, but he loses it out to the Turkish man.
Yeah, great kill on Elise. Smoke back down to the CT side. Keto going to press on as Searson backs up tabseN as he moves up and into the T spawn. Seeing nothing, but he's going to start setting up this backstab, and he could even catch off Grim, who's in connector. Just a case of timing. He turns away at the wrong moment. He's let him cross, but he now knows they can just send them all their forces back over towards the A site, stack up this 3-man play, and let him just continue.
This is a round-winning play. You stack up A, you have that late rotate coming in, and they're just working with the information. Liquid, they are trapped. They need to get some unbelievable entries onto the site if they even want to get a post plant.
Yeah, they're trapped and they don't even know it, is the worst part about it. tabseN He's not going to continue extending though. These Molotovs just start to push him even further forward because he's going to become a crucial element of this defensive line, or potentially even this retake. Smokes down to the set piece. Starts moving up as blind fire does come in from the M4s in the back. Naf and Stewie get caught for damage, and tabseN continues. tabseN, blind fire on the bomb carrier, gets Stewie to drop. Fallen's going to attempt boarders. Grim swims back and deals with tabseN, so they do finally find that backstabbing player, but they get the bomb down. Big still have the advantage.
And they need a little bit more. They need a duel to go their way, and Fallen's just at least working with an off angle.
Very, very far off angle. Very unorthodox position from him, but it could still work out. Will Big read it? Flash in, smoke down, CTs. Now on the retake position, the smoke is into the awkward position though. Naf's got to come up good alongside Grim. Grim gets traded, so it's all left to Naf now. 1-on-2, tap on the bomb, forcing him back. He's there at the sandbags. Do they see him? Player coming in from the side, finally sees the man. And that'll come the kill. That'll come the round for Big. And 8 to the CT half.
It was a decent opportunity for Liquid to get something in the round. When you think about where they're in, they get away with 3 kills and a bomb plant. It's not perfect, it's not fantastic, but at least it's a little bit of something. Big just read that really well. You have to give a fair bit of credit to Grim just by checking the late wrap out towards ramp just to get a trade back, but it just comes down to even them on the side just not finding success. Spam through these smokes, and tabseN, again, another multi-frag round for him.
Yeah, Big are playing really well in this. Tactical pause taken by Liquid again, their 3rd in this game. It is Big's map pick, so Vertigo going well does not shock me too much, but this is going quite a lot better than I thought Liquid would give it credit for, especially on their T side. So the gun still can get brought back here for North American squad. With the Galil in for Fallen with the AKs on the rest of the T4. So it's AWP in for tabseN, 2 AKs as well for the CTs to work with. So there's a little bit of bonus in for the big squad. Firepower is there, and they should have enough to get a decent force in for round 15 if necessary.
Now, Keto just putting some early nades down, actually going somewhat aggressive out towards the B stairs. tabseN just getting picked off from mid very easily, and now Team Liquid go a bit quicker with it.
Straight send in, catching the second player, no. tabseN gets his responsive frag, he gets responded to by Naf, and XANTARES and Keto come up. Good, Keto in particular, still on the stairs, makes it a triple spray down. And he is unbeatable in this position. He's always pushed forward towards this B site and found so much success.
Liquid had a really good opener out from that mid position. They tried to follow up, but then even when the picks go back and forth, it's out to the B stairs where the damage is really done by Keto. 3 in the round. Liquid, it seemed like it was quite back and forth. It seemed like it was quite competitive from the start for the Americans. They were up, what, 4-2? But ever since then, Big have just started on getting on the charge and really building up a lead.
tabseN set in to do some damage initially, does get tagged up on the first phase, 29 points of health. Broken by for Liquid, doesn't into an AWP, but a scalp Fallen can still dish out some damage. Grim's Galil can do the same. Finally beats Keto on the B site. A 1-man down, a very important player to the CT setup at that.
Another man advantage being won out by Liquid, but they've got to be able to follow up. tabseN aggressive with the AWP, and XANTARES out towards the sandbags.
Walking in, Elise caught by tabseN. Great shot for the big greens, and XANTARES. And look at Stewie as well. He's got his back turn and out wide in the open. He didn't expect XANTARES to be there. Fallen's also going to fall back. He's got the bomb on his back, so he needs to make sure that that stays in play. But with Grim on 22 and a 4-on-3, this is looking awkward for Liquid.
A nade comes in, doesn't quite do any tag damage, but XANTARES is still here out to the sandbags. They know that he is.
Smoke off the right. XANTARES looking to the left. Don't see anything. Fallen's position and gets the headshot. What a wonderful play. 2K and now looking for Grim to make it 3, or Naf would be even better. Drop that bomb for a second time. Re-smoke down, back's been seen, player's been caught, and Grim with the impossible clutch here. The AK on his back, but 22 HP. What an adjustment for XANTARES to close out the half in a style.
And that looked comfortable, very comfortable coming through from the big side. What a streak to end out the half.
back foot for them on the first map. It's pistols out for the big side. Single flash smoke HE for tabseN and tabseN. Glocks out for most every player. Tara's given the P250 honors, so he's playing raid boss for this round. Getting for Stewie, falling with the double flash smoke. Smoke also for Stewie if he has to go for the ninja setup. Right now the nade's in. The smoke's down for Big. They have the sight, they have the plot.
Oh, seriously, just trying to cut rotation off. At least he gets away with one, but it's just wasting time and pulling distractions.
Force those CTs to rotate back into the B site position and try and go ahead and rejoin the CT forces. They're going to push forward and go on for the backstab, but they're taking too long, and Big could be setting up all sorts of traps on the way. Smoke's down, Fallen has seen XANTARES, knows that he's pushed up. Keto, counter flash, is out in the open here, could get overwhelmed, he needs his teammate support. tabseN comes up good, Keto with 2 frags, trying to make it a triple, but XANTARES steals it. Regardless, those two players become everything to the site hold as Big take another pistol.
It really seemed like for a moment there, Liquid fighting some form in that pistol round, trying to get that retake together, but just up close and personal, those Glocks were just ripping heads. So many kills coming through. Keto with a great sequence. That gets Big up to 11, and for Liquid, this started out looking to be such a competitive affair, such a back and forth nature, and now this could just be such a one-sided scoreline.
It could well be Big being in full control of this one, and Liquid, I mean, to their credit, although there has been a lot of, a great one-sided scoreline, a lot of the rounds have been really close from Liquid. They have looked like a world-class team. It's just being able to close it out has been their problem.
Getting that boost up over the top of Yellow to just give themselves some sort of height advantage into the force bite. Looking to try and get back in. Look at the amount of SMGs coming through for Big, taking it as a moneymaker.
tabseN, tabseN, and tabseN all on small automatics. That money together against most of the players. They've got only one player without Kevlar here for Liquid, so it's going to be difficult for those MAC-10s to win the fight easy. And the Deagle of Grim catches XANTARES off guard, but doesn't quite get the full-on kill. tabseN finally finds his pick back. Stewie can turn around one good frag, and tabseN is going to get overwhelmed by Fallen. So there's a couple of good trades involved. 3 versus 3, now making it 1 as Keto and tabseN chime in, and Naf stands alone.
Now looking to try and see if he can go in for the clutch. Now we'll have the information relayed over to him that a couple of players are quite tagged up. Keto looking to fight straight away and doesn't expect him to be that aggressive. 12 on the board for Big. Liquid now have to just go down towards an eco, and a light one at that.
They're only losing MAC-10s there for the Big side, so they can keep tabseN up on the central weapon. Actually pass it off to tabseN instead and buy down for everybody else. Keep that Galil in for XANTARES, and a little bit of expense spared here by Big. But you're right, Liquid won't have much to contest against them. If tabseN can just get plenty of kills on a MAC-10, then that'll be more than fine, I feel. The money going, pull it up against Liquid. Fast play in, and tabseN to lead the charges. Team straight towards the ramp control.
Yeah, try and get him farming as much as he can to allow that AWP investment into the next. Grim just getting the early contact, falling back to side.
Oh, what a flick. What a shot. And what a round it will be for Big. Liquid is way too far away. tabseN will get goosed up at least. There is a little bit that they could return to, but tabseN deals with those 2 players outside. tabseN does get dealt with by Naf. XANTARES comes up with his pick. Fallen trades back 1 player and a second. Grabs that Krieg as well to try and see if he can go for a clutch here. He has the bomb behind him, but tabseN finds that permanent frag in this round. Ultimate one. 13th to the board of Big with a buyback coming in from Liquid.
This is probably the last chance you want to give Liquid to just have some sort of way of a comeback into the second half. AWP upgrade coming through from Fallen. No kit in play for anyone on this Liquid side, and for Big, so much money for them to kind of work with into the reserves. So even with this, to do economical damage onto the T side can be quite difficult.
Incendiaries on as tabseN watches out from ramp. Fallen also trying to aggress in this position as well. Challenge directly onto the LBO battle. Heads up, Grim takes a bit of tag damage. Staying alongside his teammate, hoping somebody gives up the ghost here for Big, but no one's biting on the bait.
Grim's just hoping for a jiggle, hoping for some sort of information. Fallen does get seen out towards 51, needs to get back into safety. Grim at least baits forward, the AWP misses the chance.
Missed shots from Fallen, so close to landing them though. He's tagged 39, so he's still alive alongside Grim at 65. Burst fire, those M4s, hoping with some blind shots from Grim's parts, and XANTARES barely evading them. Firing away of his own right to try baiting even more, but so little gained here by Liquid. Big are starting to run out of time though, so there are some silver linings.
And they're getting these nades like they want to retake this ramp position, but it seems to just be a bit of a ruse here for the T side. They've just left the one lurker XANTARES.
On face, looking for the man out towards Sandbags or towards anybody else here on the CT side. Meanwhile, tabseN and co start adjusting towards mid controls, and XANTARES could walk right past Stewie. Smoke up, chance for the M4 to strike. XANTARES does get caught. Opening frag found by Liquid, but now the real hit comes in from Big. They're splitting in towards B, and tabseN catches off Grim. Elige caught to the back, gets one good frag involved. Naf dealt with, and Elige trying to hold on for as long as he can, but he's overwhelmed by tabseN. 3v2. Orc pick back for Fallen, gets to a 2 versus 2. He's going for tabseN as well. Sees that gun barrel, but can't quite seem to get it. Shot back in, finally connects to his man. Secondary frag, now Keto alone. Top fragger for Big. Can he do any more towards this? He sees them both, but only gets one pick. Stewie just holds on for Liquid.
A very important clutch coming through for Liquid, and really tabseN was getting a lot of those sort of trade frags out from the mid position. Fallen and him going so aggressively into the site, putting so much pressure onto the T side players in that post plant. Stewie getting away with just being able to clutch out the 1v1, and probably one of the first times we've seen Liquid actually convert the clutches. It's more so been Big in those situations.
13-6 scoreline. Liquid finally getting a little bit of a consolation prize, but still such a long way to go to get back against Big. 7 rounds in the lead for the T's. Tech 9s and Glocks and all sorts coming out here for this eco base. It's a bit more of a half-buy for a couple of players, but nothing major for them. They're going for full guns into round 21.
Now, this AWP could be on for a fair bit. At the same time, Grim, the more kills he gets, the more money can be made.
Nades involved. SMG wraps the corner, sees one, doesn't get the second. Smoke back to XANTARES, at least with a responsive frag, and grab that bomb as well. Start pushing forward. Stewie defending positions here against the T-side line. The Orb Fallen in the same sort of situation. Nades on towards Stewie. Nice stack in from tabseN and Keto. And now Fallen's getting pressured, overwhelmed by the pistols. FAMAS can't do anything either. And Big are about to steal it.
Oh, you are kidding me. On an eco, a really, really light eco. There's not even a massive amount of Kevlar into this round. Elite just got to try and win a 1v4, and the trade's just there. What a few cracking shots out from those pistols. Just the way they shoulder baited out the AWPer and then just instantly wide swung.
Oh, Liquid are having a real rough time on this. Big are outplaying them from pistols, rifles, whatever you want to call it. 14s at the board of Big. You can watch these shots again from tabseN and Keto. tabseN ending up with a triple in that round. Unbelievable from Big. And Liquid, I mean, they can't believe it themselves. Tactical timeout caught in by the CT side. They're last in this game. And what do you do if you're Liquid, Dwayne? Like, what can you do?
Well, first off, I want to say just don't mentally tilt. It's got to be the first one. Knowing a situation where you win a really big clutch and you feel like you've got a bit of a movement back in, and then you lose an eco, stay strong mentally. That's got to be the way forward.
Easier said than done, though, I have to say.
Yeah, of course.
14-6, Liquid. Like, it should at least be close on paper, you know? Like, with the players in this roster, they should at least, even on their opponent's map pick, be able to hold their own and at least make it a relatively close affair, but not to be. Big. Making this so simple. Deagle's back in for the Liquid side on the deco round, hoping they can catch some frags back, but really, they're looking to grind to overtime.
Yeah. Try and just take it one round at a time. Use this eco to hopefully get a couple of picks, take one of those rifles into the next round. Just hope for any kind of advantage possible.
Facing from Elige and Fallen the same. Alley entrance, tabseN gets his SMG pick, XANTARES gets the AK pick. tabseN finds the AWP pick. Elige Deagle pick, perhaps. Forward, nope, XANTARES catches another. And yeah, this round goes about as well as it goes here for Liquid. 1v5 for NAF. Map point for the T side.
And something we always see from a team like Big in terms of crosshair placement, it's always, oh, look at XANTARES, he's unbelievable with some of the pre-aims. But when I look at this team as a whole and the way that they've been playing Vertigo, Keto, tabseN, tabseN, XANTARES, all of them, in terms of the pinpoint precision on entry frags, especially on T side, it has been just a joy to watch.
This is a scary, scary big squad in this matchup, and with this map going as one-sided as it has been, I realize again it is their map pick, but you're a Liquid fan, this is a concerning start. Keto picking up Naf to start things off. Opening up round 22 with particular proficiency. Elige can trade it back and try and extend and cut off the map control here for the T side. The extension, of course, from the B site, but nobody else is there for the trade, and Big are focused fully on the ramp default.
Yeah, tabseN just looking above the smoke, out towards 51. tabseN just keeping eyes out on the mid default in case of any aggression. Fallen's out to sandbags. Now, there is a molly for them to work with. Stewie playing out from alley 2. Seems like they want to go quite aggressive towards this ramp take.
To the Ian. Incendiary's back. M4's looking forward for Grim and Stewie. Trying to find position, trying to find presence, but catching nothing at all. Tizian on his push-up as the T's focused entirely on that B plays. And Taurus caught off at least by Fallen. That's one good responsive. Now Elige's AWP set to the back line, set to try and defend B. Backup is on the way. Molotov not going to force him off position. He landed a bit too far off angle, but Smoke's come back down regardless. Missed shot comes in. Second face will catch Tizian. The bomb's got to go down for tabseN though, but they're forcing so far forward. They might not even let it get happened here. tabseN, one good pick back on the first player. No more than that though. Facing into 3 of the CTs, and Liquid finds 7.
Very confident for Liquid for them to just send into the B site like that, just go really over-aggressive, make sure they're taking as many duels as possible, up close and personal. And for Elige, he was just the difference maker to allow that round to just sort of be taken. As soon as he trades it back to a 4v4 out to the B stairs, even picks up the AWP and finds impact with it too. It's a survival round at least.
Rebuy back, of course, for Big will come through. Plenty of money have in reserve. The AWPs, the Kriegs, the AKs, all standards. Liquid unable to gain any AKs out of that previous round, just the M4s and AUG. WP for Naf with the base stack. Involved towards the top of the ramp position. Grim still holds onto the kill on tabseN. Great start. Follow up from Fallen as well. Comes in against Tizian. Grim doubles up and all. And now Liquid are coming alive.
This looks much better for Liquid, but you almost wonder why is it coming through in round 22 and round 23 and not so much earlier in this map. Great take and crossfires being established with the timing out towards ramp, using the utility to give them some of the advantages, and Grim getting away with a couple of kills.
Yeah, this has been a long time coming for the Liquid squad. tabseN's now just got to save onto the AWP. I don't think Liquid will really go for the hunt either. They've got no money in the bank. Any casualties will come back to bite them later on, so they need to hold on to all these weapons, and tabseN knows the same thing for him. He's safe if he just holds back here, top of ladder. But this will be a long wait to the end of the round for him. And Liquid, well, it's a very exciting wait for them as they look to press forward and just deal another blow back to the big side. Another round on the comeback.
And what's crazy to think about was the last time we saw a streak of rounds, more than one, was round 2, 3, and 4 when they strung 3 together. Outside of that, every single round Liquid have won have been individual. We've never seen a follow-up.
Yeah, again, it's been real tough. Real tough here for Liquid. But is that toughness coming to an end? Well, getting tabseN down before or after time would be great, and indeed, find that pick on the AWP up. Grab their 8th, and again, continue to extend their comeback against Big, who shouldn't be in with another buy here, Dwayne. This should be an eco, or at the very best, a half buy for the T side.
I'm still looking at it and think it's winnable. Even on an eco, just Big have looked great in these kind of rounds. You have to look at it and say, even, maybe not if it's a Glock round, but if they've got upgraded pistols, they've got a lot of utility, you can't still count this round out from being winnable.
Well, they did have an upgrade pistol round previously, so I'm not counting them out, but it's not something you can always rely on, you know? Like, yeah, it's happened before, but will Liquid let it happen again?
Well, twice, maybe a third time. Out towards that ramp position, just putting those early nades in, and for Big, they're just waiting for an overextension. They're waiting for a sloppy mistake.
Burst fire, Molotovs. What's being thrown out here, but a CT side. There's a bit of utility to work with for the Big side as well, so there's something that they can try and do here. A bomb plant would be fantastic. Again, their main focus will be round 25, where the guns can come through. Anything they're taking this round, whether it be the round itself or kills or anything like that, it's all going to be a bonus.
Molly at least going to try and see if they can force the CTs back. Stewie's still staying around for a little while longer. And Pistol's now gaining this ramp control, but it seems a little bit of a fate because they're leaning out towards the B stairs now.
Keto going to commit with his teammates. Pistols moving up. AUG of Elige is set and ready to receive them here in the back of the site.
How many players are they going to boost up? They've got one flash. It needs to be perfect.
XANTARES and Keto. So up on this banger position, seeing nothing over towards quad. Flash is not line up on Elige. Despite that, XANTARES still gets a pick in. Fallen can trade it. Incendiary on the bomb plant position. Should block them off for the moment. I think should be enough time as well to deny the plant itself. Keto, nailed back by Fallen. Still there for tabseN, finally faced up. They can deal with the one player, but now tabseN all alone. Found by Grim on his 2K. Found by Liquid on the 9th. Big, good effort, not to beat. No bomb plant either, but guns out.
Yeah, it's a couple of kills. It's a bit of a throwaway round. Doesn't mean a massive amount. All you need to do is just close. And for Liquid, just in terms of, I guess, their own belief factor in this series, just making Vertigo as competitive as possible, even if it doesn't go to OT, even if they get to double digits, it's just going to help them feel like they've got a little bit more competence in the series than if it was just going to be a really one-sided result.
Smoke set. Incendiary on. Keto. And tabseN sprayed up, damaged up pretty heavy. 31 points of health for the AWP. Slow facing in from the T side line. Carefully positioned. Very, very slow. But that's pretty characteristic at the moment here. Big. But a number of rounds go the way of Liquids. Maybe this change of pace to try and force out a mistake might be the finishing blow.
It definitely is a big change of pace to come through for the Germans. Just the way they slow this round down is a bit of a boost coming out over the top for Stewie. So someone's going to have to pre-aim this position or get a molly down, and that's what they're going to do.
Stewie backs up, AK involved with alongside Grim getting back to the bat lines. Sandbag set, Stewie. Gonna rotate away alongside teammates and all. Fallen setting up with a flashbang to try and allow his teammates to face in as soon as the big execution comes back here. How much will they catch? Does catch off one of the TT players instead. tabseN's Molotov out of positions. That's a bit more impactful for the defensive line, but 20 seconds and Big are going to get a bomb plant soon. Keto caught by Nash. Stewie wrapped in upon by tabseN. Big pick. Very risky cross, but he gets to a bit of a safer angle. Can get that bomb plant. Grim can't quite deny it, but now tabseN's presence in the corner. Naf and Grim come up with those kills. tabseN trades it back to a 2 versus 2. Orc shots bringing out. Elige struggles, but gets XANTARES to drop. And now tabseN all alone. Got to take one of these players out. Sees Elige's head, but cannot get Naf the same. So Liquid find 10. And I think now's the point where you start to consider the comeback as on.
Yeah, you really do. That was a well-played retake coming through from Liquid, and tabseN just being able to get into the meat of things, trying to get that bomb down. Naf with 3 kills with the AWP overall. Try to chuck that back over to Fallen. Timeout being called here by the German side, and for Big, it's getting to a time now where they are struggling to close on their map pick.
Second tactical taken for the Big side. I'm surprised it's been that few, but given the circumstances, it's an appropriate time to call it in. Liquid have been on the comeback train. Everything the Big are doing is just not quite working at the moment. CGs have found their form, and despite tabseN and Keto's best efforts as top fraggers in server, still able to push this past the line here, Dwight. 5 more rounds to go for Liquid to get to OT. And they're on the half buy for round 26.
At least Big are now up to max round loss bonus, so they've got that much going for them. This is actually going to be quite quick out from mid.
Seemingly so. M4 in for Fallen. Steve tabseN and tabseN. Oh, that spray is very, very awkward. Naf's got an AWP set to the back, though, alongside Stewie. Set in with a burst fire to M4 tabseN. Hoping to catch someone off at the CT spawn. Naf still ready for the wraparound angle, though. Grim's going to get to position. Pearson nading back here. Big start forcing forward into the B side. Player getting caught off. tabseN gets Naf next up. 5 versus 3. Elige comes up against Keto. Grim can double up. 3-on-3 scenario, making it 2, and Grim transfers back to hold a quadra overall. Deal with the pistols as Big felt like they were on the precipice.
Yeah, that was a very good recovery coming through for Grim. Just mid being completely exploited. Really quick wrap into that B side too. A lead out towards a B stairs. Grim with the AUG. The way that he transfers back over to that left-hand side. Beautiful hold from him and CT.
And Liquid continuing to bring it back. Big. Getting closer and closer to that victory of their own right, but flashes forward, smokes down, AWP involved. The Stewie does not see the man out towards the scaff position. XANTARES past tops. Does drive the player away, but doesn't get any kill for it, doesn't get any damage either.
XANTARES just waiting for the CTs to retake ramp. We know that they've liked it a few times in this second half. Bit more aggression this time around for Big in terms of establishing the early map control.
Grim very far forward here, flash turned away from XANTARES. Gets the pick in, or he's looking away. Shoulder seen by Sears and adjust against Stewie. Naf caught by the AWP and Fallen falls. And at long last, Big find the confident execute that will secure them the map here. There's no way Alesia's winning this.
No, not at all. Took a little bit of time for them to get it over, but what a response to be able to get 16. The full site A execution, and it just looks so damn easy. Pick after pick, entry after entry. Alege does get away with one on this retake, but it shouldn't be much more than that. Big getting the 16 to 11 and closing on their map pick.
It could have been much more one-sided than this one, Dwayne, but ultimately Big walk away with a victory, and they look a little bit relieved about that one. But going into map 2, it does mean the Liquid have a bit more to work with on their map pick after the